In today's economic climate, many Americans find themselves struggling to make ends meet on a limited income. Dave Ramsey, a renowned financial expert, has dedicated his career to helping people navigate these challenging financial waters. Today we'll explore 27 of his favorite tips for living on an extremely low income in 2024. These strategies are designed to help you not just survive, but thrive, even when money is tight. Do watch till the end if you don't want any of these wealth killers keeping you poor. Before we dive in, I want to remind you to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps my channel grow, and I appreciate your support. Without further ado, let's get started. Tip number 1. Create a zero-based budget. Dave Ramsey often emphasizes the importance of having a plan for every dollar you earn. This is where a zero-based budget comes in. With this method, you allocate every penny of your income to specific expenses, savings, or debt payments until you reach zero. Start by listing all your income sources for the month. Then list all your expenses, starting with the essentials like food, shelter, and utilities. Assign each dollar a job until your income minus your expenses equals zero. When was the last time you sat down and really looked at where every dollar of your income was going? Tip number 2. Cut the cable cord. In the age of streaming, cable TV is becoming an unnecessary expense for many households. Dave recommends cutting the cord and opting for more affordable streaming services or even free entertainment options. How much of your cable package do you actually use? Could you get the content you enjoy through more cost-effective means? Tip number 3. Shop with a list and stick to it. Impulse buying can quickly derail a tight budget. Dave advises always shopping with a list and sticking to it religiously. This applies to groceries, household items, and even clothing. Before your next shopping trip, make a detailed list of what you need. Then challenge yourself to buy only what's on that list. Tip number 4. Embrace the envelope system. For those who struggle with overspending, Dave recommends the envelope system. This involves using cash for variable expenses like groceries, entertainment, and clothing. Put the budgeted amount for each category in labeled envelopes. When the envelope is empty, you're done spending in that category for the month. How might using physical cash change your spending habits compared to swiping a card? Tip number 5. Cook at home. Eating out, even at fast food restaurants, can quickly drain your budget. Dave encourages learning to cook simple, nutritious meals at home. Not only is it more cost-effective, but it's often healthier too. Try cooking all your meals at home for a week. How much do you save compared to your usual food spending? Tip number 6. Use coupons and cashback apps. While extreme couponing isn't necessary, Dave suggests using coupons and cashback apps for items you regularly buy. Every little bit of savings adds up over time. Take a moment to research popular cashback apps. Which ones align with your regular shopping habits? Tip number 7. Buy generic and store brands. Name brands often come with a premium price tag. Dave recommends opting for generic or store brand products, which are often just as good but significantly cheaper. Next time you're shopping, compare the ingredients of a name brand item with its generic counterpart. Are the differences worth the price gap? Tip number 8. Sell unused items. Look around your home. Chances are you have items you no longer use or need. Dave suggests selling these items to generate extra cash. Use online platforms or have a garage sale. If you had to sell $100 worth of items from your home this week, what would you choose? Tip number 9. Use the library. Libraries offer a wealth of free resources beyond just books. You can borrow movies, use computers, and even attend free classes or events. Dave encourages making full use of this often overlooked community resource. When was the last time you visited your local library? What services do they offer that you might benefit from? Tip number 10. Cut your own hair. While it might seem daunting at first, learning to cut your own hair, or having a family member do it, can save a significant amount over time. Dave often shares how his family has saved thousands by doing this. How much do you currently spend on haircuts annually? What could you do with that money if you learned to cut your own hair? Tip number 11. Use public transportation or carpool. If possible, Dave recommends using public transportation or carpooling to save on gas and vehicle maintenance costs. This can be especially beneficial if you live in an urban area with good public transit options. How feasible is it for you to use public transportation or carpool for your daily commute? What would be the potential savings? Tip number 12. Negotiate your bills. Many people don't realize that bills like cable, internet, and even some utilities can be negotiated. Dave encourages his followers to call their service providers and ask for better rates or promotions. Pick one of your monthly bills and call the provider to negotiate a better rate. What's the worst that could happen? Tip number 13. DIY home and car repairs. With the wealth of information available online, many basic home and car repairs can be done yourself. Dave suggests learning these skills to save on repair and maintenance costs. What's a repair or maintenance task you currently pay for that you could potentially learn to do yourself? Tip number 14. Use energy-efficient appliances and practices. Investing in energy-efficient appliances and adopting energy-saving habits can significantly reduce your utility bills over time. Dave often talks about the long-term savings of these practices. Take a walk around your home. What are 3 energy-saving changes you could implement today? Tip number 15. Avoid debt like the plague. One of Dave's core principles is avoiding debt at all costs. When you're living on a low income, taking on debt can create a vicious cycle that's hard to break. Reflect on your current debts. How have they impacted your financial flexibility? How would your life be different without them? Tip number 16. Start an emergency fund. Even on a low income, Dave stresses the importance of building an emergency fund. Start with a goal of $1,000, then work towards 3 to 6 months of expenses. If an unexpected $500 expense came up tomorrow, how would you handle it? How would having an emergency fund change your response? Tip number 17. Look for free entertainment. Entertainment doesn't have to be expensive. Dave encourages finding free activities in your community, like parks, museums with free days, or community events. Find 3 free activities in your area that you'd enjoy. How much would these save you compared to your usual entertainment choices? Tip number 18. Use cash only for discretionary spending. For non-essential purchases, Dave recommends using cash only. This creates a psychological barrier to overspending and helps you stick to your budget. How do you think your spending habits would change if you only used cash for discretionary expenses? Tip number 19. Meal plan and prep. Planning your meals in advance and prepping them can save both time and money. It reduces the temptation to eat out and helps you make the most of your grocery budget. What's stopping you from meal planning and prepping? How could you overcome these obstacles? Tip number 20. Avoid lifestyle inflation. As your income increases, resist the urge to increase your spending proportionally. Dave advises maintaining your frugal habits even as your financial situation improves. Think back to a time when you received a raise or financial windfall. How did you handle it? What would you do differently now? Tip number 21. Learn new skills to increase income. While cutting expenses is important, increasing your income can have an even bigger impact. Dave encourages developing new skills that can lead to better job opportunities or side hustles. What skill could you learn that might increase your earning potential? How can you start learning it today? Tip number 22. Use cashback credit cards wisely. If you can use credit responsibly, Dave suggests using cashback credit cards for necessary purchases and paying the balance in full each month. This can provide a small but meaningful boost to your budget. How disciplined are you with credit card usage? Is this a strategy that could work for you, or is it too risky? Tip number 23. Buy used when possible. For many items, buying used can save you a significant amount. Dave recommends looking for quality used items for things like furniture, appliances, and even cars. What's an item you need that you could potentially buy used instead of new? Where would you look for a quality used version? Tip number 24. Participate in the sharing economy. From tool libraries to clothing swaps, the sharing economy offers many opportunities to access items you need without buying them outright. Dave encourages exploring these options in your community. What items do you own that you rarely use? Could you benefit from a sharing arrangement with friends or neighbors? Tip number 25. Prioritize health to avoid medical costs. Preventive health care can save you money in the long run. Dave emphasizes the importance of maintaining your health through diet, exercise, and regular checkups. How might investing in your health now save you money in the future? Tip number 26. Use price comparison tools. Before making a purchase, especially for big-ticket items, use price comparison tools to ensure you're getting the best deal. Dave often talks about the importance of being a savvy shopper. Think about your last major purchase. Did you compare prices? If not, how much could you have potentially saved? Tip number 27. Stay focused on your goals. Finally, Dave stresses the importance of keeping your long-term financial goals in mind. This can help you stay motivated when living on a tight budget gets tough. What are your long-term financial goals? How can you remind yourself of these goals daily to stay on track? Living on a low income is challenging, but with these tips from Dave Ramsey, it's possible to not just survive, but to build a foundation for a better financial future. Remember, the key is to start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. As you implement these strategies, keep track of your progress. Celebrate your wins, no matter how small they might seem. And most importantly, don't get discouraged if you stumble along the way. Financial success is a journey, not a destination. What's your favorite tip? Comment below. You may also wish to check out my other video on the Chinese secret to saving money for wealth accumulation in the link above and in the description down below. If you enjoyed this video, do like and share this video so that more people will learn about these amazing tips to live on an extremely low income in 2024.